There's something really interesting coming out of the Las Vegas Raiders camp, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. It's all about a young player who's already making waves, Ashton Jeanty. But hey, before we dive into the latest Raiders update, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any breaking Raiders news. Let's get into it. So here's the deal. Ever since Ashton Jeanty joined the Raiders, the coaching staff has been working closely with him on one very specific thing: his pre-snap stance. Now, if you've seen him on the field before, you know he stands up unusually tall before the snap, something that's gone viral several times over the past year. But here's the thing. Most NFL running backs stay low, balanced, and ready to explode out of the backfield. So why was Jeanty standing upright? Well, the Raiders noticed it right away, and guess who stepped in to talk to him about it? Chip Kelly, the offensive guru himself. On Jeanty's very first day at rookie minicamp, Chip walked up to him and asked, "You ever play basketball?" Jeanty said yeah, and even mentioned he could dunk. That's when Chip said, "Show me how you'd guard me on the court." So Jeanty drops into a classic defensive stance. Low, focused, ready. And just like that, Chip hits him with the insight. "That's exactly how I want you in your running back stance." That moment clicked for Jeanty. He admitted that while he still prefers standing tall, he understands he's got to earn his place and prove himself first. For now, he's all in on adjusting and evolving with the team. So, Raider Nation, this might seem like a small detail, but it shows how much effort the team is putting into shaping raw talent into true NFL-ready players. And Ashton Jeanty, he's listening, learning, and buying in. Let's take a moment to talk about something that might sound small, but in the NFL it can be the difference between a win and a loss: a running back's stance. Sure, in college you can get away with a little delay. Defenders are a step slower. Plays take an extra heartbeat to unfold. But in the NFL, everything moves at lightning speed. If a running back like Ashton Jeanty is even half a second late, the timing's off. The offensive line may miss a key block, the hole closes, and boom, the play breaks down. And that's exactly why the Raiders coaching staff is locked in on helping Jeanty adjust his pre-snap stance. When you're running zone plays, especially those outside runs Chip Kelly loves, timing is everything. The quarterback is already moving, linemen are sliding, and if Jeanty isn't in position the moment the ball is snapped, the whole play can collapse. What makes this so interesting isn't just the adjustment. It's how the team is thinking long-term. They're building a system that demands precision, and they're not waiting until week 1 to fix the little things. They're attacking it now, in minicamp, in film sessions, on the practice field. And speaking of preparation, the Raiders are about to face one of the toughest schedules in the entire NFL. New analytics are showing that no team in the league got hit harder than the Las Vegas Raiders when it comes to rest and recovery. According to a detailed breakdown, the Raiders will be at a rest disadvantage in 6 different matchups this season. That means their opponents will be coming in fresher with more time to recover, while Vegas hits the field with less time to rest and reset. On top of that, the team has early road games, short turnaround weeks, and some pretty brutal back-to-back stretches. The analytics even show that the Raiders have 19 fewer days of total rest than other teams. 19. That's a serious hurdle for a team looking to compete deep into the season. But here's the thing about the Raiders. They've been doubted before, and this might just be the kind of challenge that brings out their best. Let's talk about something that most fans overlook, but for NFL players, it's everything: rest. Now imagine it's week 15. The season's been a war. Max Crosby is banged up. Colton Miller's dealing with a sore knee. Guys across the roster are playing through pain. In those moments, one extra day of rest could be the difference between starting or sitting, between dominating or dragging. And here's the problem. The Raiders won't be getting much of that rest edge this season. According to league-wide analytics, Las Vegas is heading into the 2025 season with one of the worst rest schedules in the entire NFL. 6 of their games will be played against teams who've had more time to recover. Only one game favors the Raiders in terms of rest. That means in nearly half the season, the Raiders will hit the field with less recovery, less time to prep, and more wear and tear. The other 10 games, they're evenly matched, both teams coming off similar time between games. Now, when you zoom out and look at the full picture, it's not just the rest. The travel hits hard, too. In the first 7 weeks alone, Las Vegas will be on the road for 4 of them. And not just anywhere. We're talking cross-country trips, coast to coast, back and forth. That kind of schedule breaks down even the toughest teams. What's wild is this. At first glance, the Raiders' schedule doesn't seem all that scary. They're not facing a brutal gauntlet of top-ranked teams. There are winnable games on the board. But the devil is in the details. And those details are brutal. Between the travel, the timing, and the rest disadvantages, this season will test the Raiders in every way. But great teams don't make excuses. They rise to the moment. If this team wants to be a serious contender, it won't matter how tired they are or how far they've traveled. They'll have to show up. Every week, every snap, Raiders-centric, tight, and compelling. One thing's for sure. If the Raiders want to make a deep run this season, staying healthy is absolutely non-negotiable. Last year, the injury list was brutal. Guys like Christian Wilkins, Malcolm Kuntz, and even Max Crosby missed significant time. That's 3 out of 4 of the team's key players up front on defense. When you're trying to build a strong physical identity, you can't afford to have that much talent sitting on the sidelines. This year, the pressure is on, not just to perform, but to stay on the field. And while health is a concern, chemistry is just as important. That's why what happened this weekend has people talking. Raiders quarterback Geno Smith was spotted training with wide receivers Jakobi Meyers and Dante Thornton Jr. And not just anywhere. They were working out alongside some of the top Alabama receivers in the country. This wasn't some PR stunt. This was serious off-season grind. While some names were noticeably absent, like Trey Tucker or rookie Jack Beck, who was busy with rookie premier commitments. The focus here is on the work ethic. Geno, Meyers, and Thornton are building timing, trust, and reps early. In the NFL, that matters a lot. The guys who start preparing in May, when rookie camps open and voluntary workouts kick off, are the ones who show up sharp when the season begins. Those early routes, reps, and film sessions can be the difference between a shaky start and a statement win in Week 1. Of course, rookie tight end Brock Bowers hasn't been as present yet. He chose to finish his academic commitment, which is admirable, but it may set him a bit behind in terms of early playbook work and chemistry with the team. Still, talent like his isn't something to worry about long term. The roots stay the same. He'll just have to catch up on the terminology and system. The bottom line, the Raiders have guys already grinding, and that's exactly the kind of commitment you want to see if this team is going to turn heads in 2025. If you're a wide receiver in the NFL, there's one advantage that can separate you from the pack: chemistry with your quarterback. And it doesn't come from playbooks. It comes from reps. From running the same route 100 times until both players know exactly when and where the ball will be. Take a route like the 15-yard dig, simple in theory, but deadly when executed with perfect timing. Some receivers hit that break faster, others run it crisper. For example, Jakobi Meyers might not have Trey Tucker's burst, but his precision is elite. On the other hand, Dante Thornton Jr. brings raw speed that can stretch the field in a different way. That's why seeing those 3, Geno Smith, Meyers, and Thornton, putting in work together is more than just a feel-good story. It's the foundation of a dangerous passing game. And while timing might be a little off in the early weeks, the fact that they're building it now is a great sign. And now, let's talk about something every fan's been waiting for. Football is officially coming back. The Raiders' preseason schedule is here, and that means we're getting closer to seeing the silver and black back on the field. Here's what it looks like. August 7th. The Raiders open the preseason under the lights, We may not see the starters play much, but it's still the first real football since last season. August 16th, they'll go head-to-head with the San Francisco 49ers in what could be the most competitive preseason clash. August 23rd. The final tune-up comes against the Arizona Cardinals. These preseason games may not count in the standings, but they matter. This is where the young talent flashes, the depth chart takes shape, and jobs are won or lost. It's where rookies like Thornton Jr. and Brock Bowers can prove they belong. And with kickoff inching closer, one thing is clear: this Raiders team is already laying the groundwork. They're not waiting for September. The work has started now. The Raiders are moving forward, and part of that journey means saying goodbye to a veteran presence on the defensive line. John Jenkins, a respected figure in the locker room and a dependable piece of the Raiders' interior defense, has officially signed with the Baltimore Ravens. While this doesn't come as a major surprise, he's in his mid-30s and near the twilight of his career, it does mark the end of a valuable chapter for Las Vegas. Jenkins wasn't a headline maker. He wasn't racking up sacks or making highlight reel plays, but his impact was real. Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, and others consistently spoke about his leadership, toughness, and the work he did in the trenches. He held down the middle of the field with grit and consistency, the kind of effort that doesn't always show up on stat sheets but shows up in wins. Now, the Raiders will look to a new wave of linemen to step into that role. Christian Wilkins and Adam Butler are both set to be key contributors, but they bring a different style. They're more mobile, more active in space, not quite the run-stuffing anchor that Jenkins was. That's why the team may still need to identify who will handle those heavy interior snaps when it's 3rd and 1 and someone has to plug the gap. That said, the Raiders' defensive line is in a much stronger place than it was a year ago. Between youth, talent, and depth, this unit has the potential to dominate up front, and that's the key to unlocking everything else on defense. But let's zoom out for a second. Big picture. What does this all mean? The truth is, if this team stays healthy, sharpens its chemistry, and keeps stacking good practices like they've started doing this offseason, they're not just aiming for a playoff spot. That bar is too low. This group, this coaching staff, and this locker room should be thinking bigger. Because when you have a hungry roster, a motivated quarterback like Geno Smith, and leaders like Max Crosby setting the tone, there's no reason the Raiders can't push for something more than just a wild card ticket. That's the mentality that builds champions, and that's the Fire Raider Nation deserves.